Hey, welcome back to your Caribou Data Science channel. Today is Sunday, May 9th. This time I'm getting a bit of a late start on my COVID-19 updates for today. I was expecting a text message from someone else who needed some help with the project. Uh, I haven't heard from it, but I figured the surest way to get this person to contact me is to start something else. So let's go ahead and use the drill. We run package update first thing every morning. Core plots, resample, update. Come over here and start our data downloads. Pull down some data. Well, that didn't take long. The report I'm going to work with later, has to do with analysis of audio books in libraries based on the race of the primary character. Okay. Uh, I can tell you one thing from looking at the description of the data science or the data collection method on that report. The author went to a lot of trouble. In many ways, it's a classic example of data acquisition and getting from it's a classic idea of getting from the idea for the report to collecting all the data to cleaning the data and getting to the point where you can actually do some uh, data analysis with. Okay, there's a ton of data collection from different sources, lots of data cleaning. Uh, the author had to check, books, audio books, had to check books by and try to identify the racial, the ethnicity of the main character. Uh, then she did a couple tables. Finally, it's maybe I don't know, 4 to 6 different plots, but the plots are really pretty basic. I can tell you from looking at from a whole the data science, the data collection she wrote about in there. A lot of work, went into this, just getting this data to the point where she could actually actually create the final report itself. Okay, maybe we'll get there, and I'll show you that in just one moment. See, let's pull down the big one here. Let's just take a brief look at this report. Now, the real point here is the method. From a standpoint of data analysis, we're interested in how the author collected all this data. Okay, so in this section, I will explain the selection of the novels for the data set, 181, the selection of library systems compared to 6, and the search procedure. To begin this investigation, I created a list of all the winners and honorees of each of the 5 awards studied. Then, because the Newbery Medal, first award in 1922 and the Coretta Scott 70, have been given for many more years than the other awards, and because the audio recordings of the books have only been available in the past several decades, I decided to look only at the award recipients dating back to 1996. Okay. The first year that the pure pre-award was given in which is 299. While the audio versions of classic children's books have certainly been recorded, I thought it would be more meaningful to compare the books at the more recently published works. So she goes through this whole collection process. Then she does data cleaning to determine the race and ethnicity of the primary characters. Okay? And here's her. So for this collection of books, this is a total number of this is a total number of prizes awarded since 1976. Okay? 1996. Selecting comparison cities. Now, comparison of selected cities, population not concentrations. Okay, can we recreate this? Well, if there's one library, one branch for each city, then this would represent those 6 branch libraries. U.S. Census Region and Division. Now we don't actually have access to some of this stuff here. All right. Search procedure. Lots and lots. I can tell you lots and lots of work, data analysis. Uh, First, I calculated the percentage of audiobooks primary featuring characters, racial, ethnic groups available within each library. Then I used SPSS. Is another data science language that is a commercial product, not free, to run the chi-square analysis for each city to determine whether the availability was distributed proportionally to the number of audiobooks. I determined whether the results were significant using results, market availability audiobooks. Okay. Now, I'm looking at that. Okay. But okay, back to the data at hand. Back to the subject at hand here. So we'll finish running this, and then we'll update the database and check and verify the data is correctly updated in the database. Okay, so let's come back over here now. So now let's check the numbers over here. We would expect to see numbers 4, 5, 8. There we are. Now this is interesting. Well, 5/9 is a weekend, so interesting. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so the data looks good. So this concludes the database update for Sunday, May the 9th. We'll be back in a few minutes with the daily reports, including, because today's Sunday, you get two for the price of one on reports. You get both the data report and the COVID-19 vaccine report for your country.